Hey guys, Luis Moreno here, 360 Insurance Group. We've got Jordan from Health Sherpa. Good morning, Jordan.
Morning.
It's February. I was complaining about my 50-degree weather, and she just told me it's -5 in Colorado where she's from. So I need to shut up. Yeah. My weather is her short weather. So anyway, guys, we're going to be talking about the Medicaid unwinding that is happening across the country. So it's Medicaid and CHIP, and CHIP is the Children's Health Insurance Plan. And what an opportunity for us agents to help these people that are being unwound from Medicaid and CHIP. So Jordan, with that, I'm going to let you take over and share with our agents what's happening and how we can capitalize and help these people out.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So we'll cover a lot of information today. There's a lot of resources out there. My goal is to make this easier for all of you to understand what is going on. So we'll cover what's most important, and I'll also share with you where you can go to get additional information if you need it. And again, we'll also share these slides with you as well. So by the numbers, let's just kind of talk about what is Medicaid unwinding. So since the COVID-19 public health emergency began, states have not been permitted to redetermine members out of Medicaid coverage. So you might wonder, what does that mean? Redetermination means, say you get a job that offers coverage, or say you now are making income and you would no longer be eligible for Medicaid. The states have not been redetermining people out of Medicaid coverage. So when the PHE ends, the government is expecting more than 15 million people will lose Medicaid. And of that 15 million, 2.7 million will be eligible for a subsidized QHP. And they're also estimating that 1.7 million of that 2.7 will be eligible for $0 premiums. So this is a huge opportunity, and it's opening up another, what's going to be probably a pretty busy year for all of us, which is super exciting. You can see here down on the bottom, we've got some links. Again, we'll share these slides with you so you can read more information, but hopefully what we cover today helps you get a grasp on where to get started.
And guys, I want to share with you, because we do have new agents with us, Jordan, and I know what a QHP, but some of our new guys may not, and that's a qualified health plan. So I know we throw around a lot of acronyms, and eventually, guys, if you're like, God, I can't remember, PHE, QHP, ACA, SEP, a lot of stuff gets thrown at you. Eventually, guys, you'll learn it. It'll be just like normal. So it's just a regular a qualified health plan.
Thank you. Great call out. I know I use a lot of acronyms here, so please stop me anytime I do.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we previously said the PHE, and now to make it even more confusing, I'm going to call it continuous coverage. So this has recently changed in the last week or so. So now the public health emergency is being disassociated with the end of continuous coverage. So we're going to say continuous coverage on Medicaid is ending on March 31st. So you might wonder, now what? So the states will have 12 months to initiate Medicaid or CHIP redetermination for all of their enrollees. And they will have 2 additional months, these are the enrollees, to complete all of their pending actions. So when we think about across that 14-month span, the priority consumers would be the ones that are no longer eligible for Medicaid or CHIP. They didn't complete a renewal during the public health emergency or PHE, or they have not used their Medicaid or CHIP services recently. Those that will be deprioritized or potentially postponed out of this 14-month window are anyone that is currently pregnant or in a postpartum state, currently enrolled in SNAP or other state benefits, or in the midst of intensive treatments. You can find more information on Medicaid.gov. Obviously, a little bit of information overload over there, but again, just pointing out some additional resources you have access to. All right, so now let's talk a little bit about the special enrollment period that's opening up this year. Excuse me. So it is officially being called the Unwinding SEP. And in order to be eligible for this special enrollment period, the consumer must submit new or updated applications between March 31st of this year through July 31st of 2024. The consumer must attest to a loss of Medicaid or CHIP during that same time period. And a redetermined consumer has 60 days before and 60 days after Medicaid or CHIP coverage ends to make a plan selection. So that gives them a 120-day window. And then the coverage effective dates will vary based on when the consumer attests to loss of coverage. So if it's on or before the coverage end date, the health plan will become effective the first of the month following the end date. So meaning April 1st of this year would be the earliest the plan could begin. And the effective date, if it's after the coverage end date, the coverage will become effective on the first of the month following the plan selection. So let's say I picked a plan on April 15th, my plan effective date or coverage would begin on May 1st. And then all of the state exchanges will have the option to offer this special enrollment period. And Louise, we should share that resource for any of your new agents as well. What differentiates the federal marketplace states versus the state exchanges. So all of the federal marketplace states will follow the same guidelines, and any states that operate their own exchanges have the ability to offer this, but will ultimately have their own decision on what they want to offer for special enrollment this year. So then something else to be aware of is that there is a data flow between Health Sherpa and the states. So this gets a little into the weeds here. So Louise, please ask me if you have any questions, but at a high level here, in all FFM states, Health Sherpa will use the eligibility criteria to determine Medicaid and or CHIP. In all FFM states, we will transfer the individual's information in an electronic file to the state Medicaid or CHIP agency. So there's something to be aware of here. There's determination and assessment states, and we'll talk about what these are on the next slide. But in determination states, the state will accept the Health Sherpa determination as final, meaning if you get eligibility for Medicaid on Health Sherpa, it's done. If it's an assessment state, Health Sherpa will submit that to the state agency, and the state will make the final answer on that. And then this data flow kind of works both ways. So let's say I was a consumer and I went to a state Medicaid agency to apply, and I was determined not eligible for Medicaid. My information would actually be provided to the FFM. And if I was an agent, or say I came to you, Louise, and I said, hey, can you help me with a health plan? My data would already live on there. So there's a benefit of using Health Sherpa, is you'd be able to pull all of my information right into Health Sherpa, making that application that much easier. So it doesn't mean that if I'm not eligible that I'm automatically enrolled in a plan. It just means that my data will live on the exchange, making it easier for an agent who's using Health Sherpa.
Gotcha.
So then let's talk about who the assessment states are and who the determination states are. So those are listed out here. Again, you can see which states will make the final decision versus which states you'll be able to get that final decision right through Health Sherpa. And then there are a series of unknown states here. And if you'd like more information, I would say specifically if you're focusing on one of these unknown, you can check out the link here to read more. And I'm sure a simple Google search would help you find what you're looking for these unknowns as well.
And if you want these slides, guys, I'm going to post them down in the description below. I'll have a PDF that you can download, and these links will be clickable.
Perfect. All right, and then our last point here. So if anybody that's watching this has read any of the news that has gone out about Medicaid Unwinding, or if you've attended any of CMS's webinars, I know that I can share it's been kind of information overload. There's a lot of information out there, and it's hard to understand how you should take it and what you should do with it. So the first thing that I'll call out on these resources is this very bottom link is the Health Sherpa issue brief. So anyone that's using Health Sherpa, we did send this out, I think it was last week, and this is just kind of Medicaid Unwinding at a high level. So this is kind of Health Sherpa taking it and making it as easy for you to understand as possible. That's a great resource for you to share, especially if you have additional agents that you'd like to share that with. Check out the issue brief. But some other resources that are linked here, these toolkits are awesome. These are some public resources that you can download and customize to help support your marketing campaigns. They're available in English, Spanish, additional languages. Some states actually have their own toolkits as well. And then one of the other resources that I found to be really helpful as well is this first one here from Kaiser Family Foundation. And what this does is you can open up this map here, click on a state, and then you can open up a 2-page fact sheet by state that tells you how many members are on Medicaid, what percent of the population is under 200% FPL, and sorry, there I go with acronyms again,
That's
federal
right.
poverty level.
Right.
But really just some helpful information for you to see, okay, was the state Medicaid expansion state? How does that impact where I'll focus? So again, lots of great resources out there. You'll be able to click on all of these links. My favorite was this Kaiser Family Foundation. Next from there would maybe be this issue brief. And then the last one I'll mention here is this Georgetown University. Also allows you to just see a list of all 50 states and what their plan is. If their plan has been posted, you can see that. If the state has their own toolkit, you can see that. So again, lots of great resources. Tried to put them all in one place for you just to make it easier. Again, if you have questions, please reach out to us and we're happy to help.
And I don't know if you're able to, I'm coming from the agents and I'm like, okay, what are my communication kits look like?
Yeah.
Are you able to click on some of these links and show us what's in there?
Yeah, definitely. So let's start with this first one here. So this was that Kaiser Family Foundation resource that I was talking about. I love this map. I opened up all 50 of these. Again, I know I've shared that resource that I put together with you, but let's say we clicked on Colorado since I'm here in Colorado. We can pull up this fact sheet and now we can see, all right, here's a snapshot of Medicaid in Colorado. There's 1.6 million people currently enrolled. 23% of the Colorado population is low income. I know this doesn't give you a perfect picture of, okay, what does that mean in terms of who's going to be redetermined, but you can look at the states that have the largest populations of folks on Medicaid and figure out maybe where you want to start. We can see our expansion status here, lots of great data on here. Each of these is 2 pages. And then the next one that I'll share is the Unwinding Communications Toolkit. So this is from Medicaid.gov. You can see this toolkit here is 16 pages. There's all sorts of documents here that you can download and use for your marketing campaign. So there's letters here that you can customize. There's graphics that you can grab from here. So this is the Medicaid.gov one. I know there's individual state toolkits. Here's some supporting materials as well. So you can see this is downloading a folder to my computer. Let's see if it'll work for me where I'm sharing my screen. Let's see if I can get this to pull up.
And guys, what I'll end up doing is I'm going to have an agent toolkit that you can grab, and I'm going to share some of the stuff that we're creating on our site. But go ahead. These things look great.
Yeah. So this is from the toolkit that I just downloaded. It downloaded a zip file of about 25 items. So there's a bunch of different languages in here, postcards. Let's see, here's a conference card. So see, you can customize these. This one's in Spanish. So these are all free resources that are currently available today. Here's a Spanish rat card.
All right.
So lots of great tools available to you. These are all going to be linked in this presentation.
Yep. And I'll have something for you guys. I'm going to share what we kind of created, and we did this on our own. And I'm going to tell you what you agents should be doing. Okay. Now that you understand what is happening with this unwinding, if you want to be super, super knowledgeable to what's happening, knock yourself out. But I like to keep my world simple. Okay. All I want to know is when I'm talking to an insured, if they're losing Medicaid or CHIP, all that means to me is I can write an ACA policy for them. That's it. I don't need to know the if, ands, or whys. It's probably happening because their income or their assets are way out of line now. They didn't have to submit anything back during COVID when this continuation, whatever that thing was, they didn't have to requalify. They were just automatically kept there. Right. Now that's being done with. Now they got to requalify. They may not qualify. Beautiful. I can help you out. Now, when they lose their Medicaid, guys, this is what happens. When they lose Medicaid, they've got a 60-day window to enroll into an ACA plan. What is the name, Jordan, of the SEP?
It's the Unwinding SEP.
Okay, so I'm sure there's going to be a question in the additional questions here. Are you losing coverage? And you'll choose who's losing coverage, which and the date, which will then give you that election or that ability to enroll that person into an ACA plan. That's it, guys. It's super, super simple. So you need to start thinking, these people that are losing Medicaid or CHIP, how do they find you? Okay, there's not going to be a database for them to go to. Okay, they're not going to, they're not going to come hunting for you. So you have got to get out there in social media and start posting things about this unwinding. Let them know that you can help them out if they're losing their coverage. Now, you can do post. Okay, great. That's going to go to your immediate circle. And I even think Facebook has limited that because they want advertising dollars. Okay, they're not going to let you get that out there unless you boost it. But then again, I think on the boosting side, it's friends of friends of friends. It's kind of limited out there. Okay, what you want to do is you want to create an ad, guys. Okay, it is important that you create an ad. So one of the things that I would recommend is start running social media ads. If you don't know how, down below, there's a course on how to create ads on Facebook and Instagram. Okay, so you create ads. That's what we're going to do. We're going to take some posts. We're going to take some ad copies, and we're going to create an ad and let people know that if they're losing their Medicaid or CHIP, to click on this little button. They click on the button. They go fill out some information. Very, very minimal. Okay, I don't really subscribe to this no contact type of lead. I want to contact them, whether it's in the form of a text message, an email, or verbally. I'll contact them. Hey, Jordan, I got your information. You indicated you were losing CHIP or Medicaid. Hey, I'm here to help. And we rock and roll. We do our thing. Okay. We start talking about the issue that you're going to have. And I'm like, awesome. Well, Jordan, here's what I need. I'll gather some data. We'll go into Health Sherpa. We'll quote. Okay. I'll ask Jordan for her doctors. I'll ask her for some prescriptions that she's taking. I'll plug those in very easily into Health Sherpa. And we're going to have a video on that, guys, on quoting and enrollment. So we'll put that information in. I'll start sorting through the plans. I'm going to find one that fits Jordan, and then I'm going to enroll her. That simple. Okay. Now, so I've got the ad course down below in the description. I've also got some information on our CRM. Now, remember, Jordan is finding me on Facebook. She has no idea who I am. She doesn't even know if I'm in the country. I could be out of the country. Okay. So my CRM, once Jordan fills her information out, my CRM is listening for her hitting that submit button. It listens to it. As soon as she hits submit, my CRM captures that data, dumps it into my CRM, and then the CRM has a workflow. It's going to warm Jordan up to me because right now she doesn't know who I am. So it's going to send Jordan some emails, some text messages. It's going to send Jordan some pictures of me in my office, and it's going to let her know that I'm real. And it's also going to let Jordan know that, hey, when I call you, Jordan, you need to have everything ready because I'm a busy guy. Okay, you need to have the list of all your docs for you and your family, and you need to have your medications. Make my job easier. Also, we did a previous video on data matching. Okay, Jordan needs to know that I'm going to need your social securities. Don't be afraid to give them to me. I'm not going to get my job done right if you don't give them to me. So it's going to warm her up and let her know, look, I'm going to need everybody's names, date of birth, socials, addresses, emails. I'm going to need to enter that data so that I create a good application and minimize the data match issues. So if you're wondering what that is, go watch another video that I've got on data matching that me and Jordan did together. But my CRM does all that. I've got that information linked down below. And so also in the description, guys, I'll have the slide deck. I'll have an agent toolkit that you can go and grab. I've got, Jordan, can you unshare so I can share my screen?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
These are all awesome tips.
I'm going to share with you. Okay, this is what I've created, guys. So I've created a few little post breaking news. Hey, are you losing your Medicaid or CHIP? Here's another one. Medicaid and CHIP Unwinding. These are just posts that we're going to do. We may turn this into an ad. Okay. They're just little things that we created. And if you're wondering, Luis, you must be a creative. Guys, I go to Canva. I use the free version of Canva, and it is agent proof. Okay, which means you can't screw it up. All you do is you take some things and you drag them and you change the colors. They really make it super easy for us agents to make pictures. You can customize it with your name and your phone number. You can even take my Canva picture, download it to yours, and then edit it with your stuff if you want to. So we're going to be providing that for you. But guys, ultimately, and Jordan, they don't need to know the ins and outs of this unwinding. It's just good to maybe know it, but you need to know, hey, this is an opportunity.
Definitely.
How many people? I think 15 million people
are losing coverage. This. Yeah, almost 2 million eligible for $0 premiums. Those are free plans. Take advantage of it, guys. Here's another thing. If you're like, I keep hearing a rumor, Jordan, there's no money in ACA. I'm like, you know what? Keep thinking that, guys. I'm going to give you my email, and you're right. There's no money. Don't enroll them. Send them to me. I'll enroll them, and I'll send you a $50 referral fee. No, I'm kidding, guys. There is a ton of money. Okay, this is how we train our agents, which I have a training program too down below. But you can kind of do some simple math. Every 100 heads that you have enrolled equals. Where's my calculator? $30,000 in commissions a year. This is an approximate, guys. You're like, what? Yes, every head, not every policy, every head. Okay. So if you have 100 heads, 30K, 200 heads, 60K, 400 heads, 120K. Guys, you just got to go get you 400 heads to get a 5-figure monthly renewal check. Every month, you're going to get this little check. It's an incredible business. Guys, we got an opportunity to help a lot of people who are losing their coverage. So take advantage of it. And Jordan, thank you. Appreciate it. Do not forget, guys, like this video, throw some comments down below, and then subscribe to my channel, guys. We got a lot of information coming your way. Thank you. Thank you.